Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Hormones and Health. We're having amazing guests today to speak with us. And I just wanted to drop in really quick, just because if we haven't met, my name is Monica Zumalak. And for the last decade or so, I have been helping women and men release chronic pain in their pelvis and pelvic floor and embrace a life of high energy, activity, and pain-free. If I do that through myofascial release therapy, through self-treatment and self-care guidance, and also through lifestyle modification. So if you are having chronic pain, just drop me in the comments and we'll strategize for you how to get out of it. So I want to welcome though, because this live is about somebody very special that we have. You know that we are actually in the middle of Hormones and Health Summit. And we are featuring one of our guest speakers who is still gonna be coming on. So you still have time to watch his interview. But let me welcome Dr. Joe Mather, who is the director at the Ruscio Institute. So welcome, Dr. Mather. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again. Talking to you the first go around is such a pleasure. And from my vantage as the medical director of a functional medicine clinic, it's just absolutely correct to get hormones. It's hard to get hormones right sometimes. And there's a lot of, I think, misinformation and difficulties in doing this. So I'm just so grateful that you're putting this together, right, to try to get people a little bit closer to a better understanding of how to get their hormones. And man, I love that you started with lifestyle, right? Because if you haven't gotten the lifestyle right, then it's so hard to get the rest of the hormones. And, my perspective is that so many patients go to hormone therapy too quickly without getting the fundamental pieces of their health correct. And so in our talk, we really hit on the lifestyle components that I think are really critical for getting hormone balance right. And then my most favorite topic in the world, right? Gut health. If you don't get gut health right before and you have hormone problems, you're really missing one of the biggest drivers of hormonal imbalance. And so many times in our clinic, we simply get the lifestyle right, we get the gut right, and then all of a sudden someone doesn't need their thyroid replacement anymore, right? Or those awkward perimenopausal symptoms just fade away. So I'm excited that people are gonna be able to listen and learn from all the wonderful guests in your summit. It's great.
Yes, and thank you so much for bringing the lifestyle again too, and the gut health, because I felt like this topic has been really a big topic for the summit. And I think, we are learning that, just like you said, you can't just go to a doctor and get your hormone replacement, because it's not going to solve the root cause of the problem. And that's what I've learned from you and from all our speakers. And can you tell us a little bit about where you mentioned gut health, and I know that is your favorite topic.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, if anybody wants to drop in questions, please put them in the comments. You can do that. Or if you have more questions, just drop them in the comments and we'll be answering them if you're not watching live today. But so Dr. Mather, tell us a little bit about if somebody is right now listening, they came onto this summit because they know they're struggling with hormone issues. Maybe they went to a doctor and they were told, well, you have some problem, you got to take these injections or medication. What is fundamentally wrong with that, and why we need to go into gut health first and lifestyle?
So for some patients, simply jumping to hormones is the right answer, right?
Okay.
For some patients who are having extremely horrific hot flashes, palpitations, anxiety, mood swings, if they're already doing some basics right, then maybe a conventional hormone replacement would be a really good idea. But the problem is that too many people in the functional and integrative medicine world are kind of given hormones, or hormones are presented as the cure-all, the silver bullet to make them lose the weight or fix the brain fog. And when that is done out of order for most patients, they're missing the more important pieces, right? So in our experience, we know that the microbiome plays a major role in detoxifying estrogen. So if you have a patient who is coming in and they have ongoing gut symptoms, bloating, diarrhea, maybe constipation, maybe some heartburn, and you're not working on fixing that issue first, you're missing a whole lot of opportunity for improvement globally. So that's why we end up starting with the gut in the vast majority of patients. Did that get close enough to your question? Maybe
Absolutely.
another analogy
Mhm.
that I often use is
Yes.
if you're driving down the highway and your muffler is falling off of your car and making a whole bunch of noise and just making just a horrible racket, you don't just turn the radio up and say, "Ah, my muffler's better," right? I can't hear
Some
it anymore.
people do.
Some people do.
Yes.
What I would suggest is looking at the root cause for
Mhm.
why you're having symptoms. And so often in our experience, they are lifestyle imbalances,
Mhm.
they are gut problems, right? They are toxic exposures. And a good functional medicine doctor should be able to help balance what to do in what order when. And so our plea is to have patients really make sure they're not missing the huge opportunities for an easy, simple fix in the gut before jumping to hormone replacement.
Yes, thank you so much for that. That really clarifies a lot. And we are going to be delving into this subject so much more in depth during our interview. But I do see a lot of our viewers contact me and tell me, like I really suffer from a menopause problems, and it's just robbing my energy. I can't really function properly. And you mentioned something really important that um, you know, we may have gut issues that are actually creating problems with like metabolism and actually metabolizing our hormones. Can you just say a little bit about that? Or like what happens with estrogen, for example, when our gut health is out of balance?
I'm going to answer it a little different way. When I
Okay.
first started my
Perfect.
career in functional
Yeah.
and integrative medicine, I
Mhm.
ran a concierge internal medicine practice, and I probably used hormone therapy on 500 women, right? So when I was doing that, I didn't fully understand how important it was to fix the gut, fix the lifestyle. And I think that looking back, a lot of those patients would have needed lower doses, and I made things too complicated. So I've learned from there. You see a lot of practitioners talk about getting fractionated estrogens. They'll get E1, E2, E3. They'll be looking at ratios in the urine. They'll be looking at saliva tests, and they're saying, oh, well, if we just do XYZ, maybe we can metabolize this ratio different. I think that approach misses the boat, and trying to get into the mechanics of how our microbiome metabolizes each estrogen usually just ends up wasting time. So what we do know is that the healthier the gut is, the better the symptom load for the patient is, usually across the board, right? So the ability to lose weight improves, cognitive function improves, anxiety goes down. We know that simply fixing the gut helps lower blood sugar, improve cholesterol, right? Gives you more energy while dropping your GI symptoms. And so usually when you fix a major system like that, the secondary issues like the hormone balance come naturally, right? And you don't have to get so
Mhm.
worried about, oh my God, am I doing the right ratio of estrogen versus progesterone? And maybe I have to give a compounded estrogen of 3 different types. And it just gets pretty complicated pretty quickly, and I think unnecessarily so. If you're doing the basics, really optimizing gut health, you're going to go pretty far.
Yes, yeah, I think this is really profound to mention that we are overcomplicating things all too
Yeah,
often,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
trying to measure, of course, measurements are important. I mean, we need to, there are cases that you really want to have that precise testing.
yeah.
But what you said, what I've heard is that we can absolutely simplify it first and see the results because the results will be there no matter
Yeah,
what, even if
exactly,
we don't know the numbers.
exactly.
And it is extremely stressful, I feel, for a lot of women, especially to be worried about all those ratios and numbers because first, maybe they have not had the background to really, it's not their discipline, they're not medical doctors. And now suddenly they are hearing all those, numbers. And again, really be extremely stressful. And then it creates more problems, right?
So, you've hit on something that we see again and again is that a focus on
Mhm.
over reliance on laboratory values, and remember,
Mhm.
hormones change hour to hour, day by day, week by week.
Mhm.
Just a single measurement really is so hard for us to say what's the bigger picture here. So In our clinic, we really try to, whenever we can, focus on the big picture first.
Yeah.
And I think that does go quite a long way in helping our patients.
Beautiful. So I encourage everybody to watch the interview with Dr. Mather, because we're going to be delving into those issues and what to do and your action steps and how to take care of yourself and more, length. But Dr. Mather, tell us how people can get in touch with you. How can they reach out if they want to learn more?
Absolutely. So I'm the medical director of the Ruscio Institute, where I work closely with my partner, Michael Ruscio. So our clinic is the Ruscio Institute, RUSCIO Institute.com. And we are taking new patients. We have 4 clinicians. Any of us will be happy to help, and we all operate in a very similar medical model. So if the things I'm saying now resonates with you, come see any one of us. Dr. Hamlin is fantastic. Dr. Scott is amazing. And we're all really, really motivated to simplify functional medicine, to move away from this model where we've got to give you a dozen supplements and, $3,000 of lab work before we even get started. I just think that model really needs to go away, and we doctors need to get back to really listening, because that's been missed. And when you listen, it turns out that you can figure out a lot.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. This is such an important mission, and I really want to honor you. And thank you so much, man. I really have a lot of gratitude for what you're doing in the Ruscio Institute with all your colleagues there, and simplifying and really giving people solutions that are not costing thousands and thousands of dollars. That's another story, right? So,
Absolutely.
So just to confirm, the website is the RuscioInstitute.com.
That's it.
Okay, we're going to drop it in the comments, so please check it out, and so everybody has access to that. All right, well, that was a pleasure to see you again, always. And I cannot wait to have you featured, and so please, everybody, stay tuned. Check your emails, and if you have questions about any of the material you're getting each day in your inbox, reach out, to email me or post comments here on social media, and just reach out, because we're here to support you and make this the best experience you could ever have. Okay.
And everyone, you're in very good hands with Monica. This is a fantastic event. So
well,
enjoy.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.